I need my notes. Judaism versus spiritualism. What in the world do these people have that's in common, and what do they have that's different? Hello, everybody. Y'all know who I am. I'm WYLEANER, the Las Vegas Queen of Gospel, and yes, indeed, it is time once again to be back here on the WYLEANER Show, and I'm just welcoming everybody back. Yes, indeed, I am so excited to be back with y'all again today, and yes, I am. I'm live right here in the studio and live out there on the internet. I just want to welcome everybody back, everybody who is watching out there on WYLEANERTVShow.com, and everyone who is watching out there on KKVV.com, who's watching on Google Hangout, who's watching on YouTube, who's watching in Pakistan, everybody who's watching everywhere, and everyone who is listening out there on KKVV 1060 AM Las Vegas on your radio dial. I'm excited that you came back, and I'm looking forward to the discussions that I have for the part 1 and part 2 with Judaism versus spiritualism, and they say they're not the same. They say they're not even in comparison to those guys, but we're going to find out exactly what these people teach and what they believe right here on the WYLEANER Show. I tell you what, I want you to get yourself together and strap up your boots and get ready, because you know what's going to happen right here on this show right here in Las Vegas, right here on the WYLEANER Show. The rubber is going to meet the road. We'll be right back.
Did you realize that right now, one of every 3 drivers on the road is cruising around in a state of skepticism? Why? Because they're full of questions about how much value their car insurance company is actually bringing to the party. And the way these drivers are getting answers is by shopping and comparing. If you're one of them, State Farm agent Mike Whitford in Las Vegas can help you get to a better state. That starts with getting to know you as a person, not just a policy number. Then Mike can help put together the coverage package that has you written all over it. Make sure you're comfortable with what that coverage will cost and with the level of service you'll get, not just for Mike Whitford, but from the 68,000 State Farm associates who support them 24/7, 365 days a year. If all of that is starting to make you feel a little less skeptical, now's the time to call State Farm agent Mike Whitford in Las Vegas at 702-463-2400. That's 702-463-2400, and get to a better state with State Farm.
Okay, everybody. Okay, everybody. Boy, I tell you, we have a little technical stuff going on around here today, but that's all right. We're ready to deal with y'all out there in everywhere land. Okay, so listen, I have guests that I'm going to be introducing to you today. I have guests that are calling in from 2 different places, and I'm gonna share them with you in just a moment. But I just want to make sure that you remember that if you would like to make a donation to the WYLEANER Show, please log on to WYLEANERTVShow.com, and wherever, if you're watching the show right now, just click that pay button right up there at the top of the screen, and you can make a donation to assist this show to help keep it going. Okay. Okay, and then also if you want to send in a donation in the mail, you can send it to WYLEANER at 420 North Nellis Boulevard, Suite A3, okay, Las Vegas, Nevada 89110. And if you'd like to be a guest on the WYLEANER show, just shoot me an email at WYLEANERTVShow@AOL.com. That's WYLEANERTVShow@AOL.com. And you can also call 702-242-2100. That's 702-242-2100. Call in and request to be a guest on the show. Now, if you want to shoot me an email to ask a question or anything like that, that's the same email address, okay? WYLEANERTVShow@AOL.com. And I will welcome your comments or your questions. And we're going to be looking for questions from you next week anyway, for my guests that I have on with me today, okay? Because they're going to be coming back again next week. Now, I'm excited about this, y'all. I think I'm just so excited that I'm just really falling to pieces here. So can I take a drink of water real quick? Because y'all know I tell you, my throat is dry. Y'all say, boy, that WYLEANER knows she's something else. She'll just sit right on the show and just take a gulp of water. Well, of course I will, because that's the only way I can keep rolling is off of that good stuff. Okay, so listen, I have special guests. I have two very, very special guests. And so I want to start with ladies first. Okay, and the lady that I'm introducing to you now, for those who are watching out there on WYLEANERTVShow.com, you will not see her visually. You will hear her voice, okay? Because we had some technical difficulties, we weren't able to get her visual for you, but you will definitely hear her voice. And she is calling in all the way from the other side of the world, Australia. She is calling in from Australia, and she actually told me it's winter time in Australia. And I tell you, I find that hard to believe, seeing as how hot it is here in Las Vegas. So let me introduce to you Gabriella KOVAC, okay? Born a Jewess in Hungary just after the Second World War, had drawn to a close. She says she lived through the I tell you, I'm technical difficulties is my middle name today. Okay, she says that she lived. Let me just kind of shrink this down a little bit, you guys. Give me a second here to get back to my normal screen here, and then we're gonna finish reading her bio for you here. Okay, she says that she is born Jewish in Hungary just after the Second World War had drawn to a close. She lived through the Hungarian uprising against the communists in 1956 and remember vividly Russian tanks under their bedroom window. Through the genius of her mother, Georgina, her family managed to leave the communist bloc and come into Australia in 1957. She says she's an experienced public speaker, fashion designer, and cook. Throughout her life, she has been inspired by her mother's amazing tenacity on and outsmarting the Nazis and communists and winning. Her zest for life motivated her to write Georgina Holocaust stories. Gabriella lives in Sydney, Australia. She's not married. Her previous husband passed away years ago, and she is the mother of two sons, which lives in Queensland, who visits very often. Gabriella also has three grandchildren, two girls and 2 and 5 years old from her younger son, and a boy from her older son, who is 8. Neither of her sons are practicing Judaism. They both married Australian girls. Gabriella was born Jewish, but says that she does not practice traditional Judaism. And I tell you what, we are going to welcome Gabriella KOVAC to the show. And my producer is telling me that we have a commercial. So we're going to go to commercial. And when we come back, you're going to hear the voice of Gabriella KOVAC. We'll be right back.
Did you realize that right now, one of every 3 drivers on the road is cruising around in a state of skepticism? Why? Because they're full of questions about how much value their car insurance company is actually bringing to the party. And the way these drivers are getting answers is by shopping and comparing. If you're one of them, State Farm agent Mike Whitford in Las Vegas can help you get to a better state. That starts with getting to know you as a person, not just a policy number. Then Mike can help put together the coverage package that has you written all over it. Make sure you're comfortable with what that coverage will cost and with the level of service you'll get. Not just for Mike Whitford, but from the 68,000 State Farm associates who support them 24/7, 365 days a year. If all of that is starting to make you feel a little less skeptical, now's the time to call State Farm agent Mike Whitford in Las Vegas at 702-463-2400. That's 702-463-2400 and get to a better state with State Farm.
Okay, Gabriella, are you there? Are you there, Gabriella? Hello?
How are you?
Yes, I hear you. And oh my goodness, I'm not sure. I think we're still getting, are we getting a lot of static? Yeah, it looks like we're getting a lot of static there. And I'm not sure what that's all about. Are you there, Gabriella?
Yes, yes, I am. Good afternoon, that's right. It's good morning here. Good afternoon from Australia, Sydney, WYLEANER.
Okay.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, wonderful. Everything is clean and crisp and clear. So don't you move a muscle, whatever you do. Gabriella, what's going on? You're calling me all the way from Australia. How neat is that? Talk to us.
Well, this for the inventions in the modern age. It's just an amazing thing that I can call you, and the time difference doesn't seem to worry. It's a really, really good thing, eh?
Okay, so Gabriella, would you tell me what time it is, where you are in Australia, and what day is it?
Well, now it is 10:13 in Australia in the morning on Sunday, the 26th of July.
Wow. This is so neat. I'm so excited. I love it. Okay. Wow. Well, you know what, Gabriella? Welcome to the WYLEANER Show, and thank you so much for joining us today. Okay. And we're going to be learning a lot of information from you as to what you believe to be the quote-unquote truth. And it looks like it has something to do with Judaism, or maybe not, huh?
Maybe not. I was brought up in a very controversial way, although I do believe I am Jewish, and my mother definitely straight after the World War, the first thing she did was buy a Morgan David, which is the Star of David, the gold symbol.
Okay. Okay.
So I am Jewish.
Okay. 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 Well, listen, I'm not going to let you get too deep on me right now because I want to go ahead and introduce my other guests, but I want to find out more about you, girl, in just a minute. You just give me some time, okay? All right, so you sit there and be patient while I go ahead and introduce my next guest here, and my next guest that I have that we're going to be that's going to be joining us. His name is James Wesley, and I'm going to introduce James. So let me tell you a little bit about James. Okay, James has been a seeker most of his life, he says, beginning with an intuitive feeling that started at the age of 4, in which he felt he would participate in some significant change in human history. This deep thought has motivated his lifelong search for meaning and purpose. In college, he majored in psychology and philosophy, but found no answers, just more questions. He read voraciously miraculously finding stories about the activation of human potential, which, while fascinating, gave no method of practical technique to enable him to activate his own potential. In 1977, at the age of 34, he found a book about the life of an early 20th century mid-Asian mystic named George, and I can't pronounce George's last name, so James will tell me about that. And his teaching is called The Fourth Way. Within 2 weeks of finding this book, he found a school based on this teaching, and the person in the personals section of the want ads. He joined the school, and within 18 months had dismantled his life and had moved to Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, a tiny community hidden in the foothills of the Sierras, where he lived and worked on his inner development for the next 5 years. In 1984, James met his current wife, who was also a student in the school. They migrated to Phoenix, Arizona in 1985, where they were asked by community leaders to lead a fourth way group. They led the group for 10 years, during which time members of the group sought private counseling for psychological issues. James developed treatment tools out of the teaching, eventually leading to a master's degree in counseling and the establishment of his current private practice, which he calls his approach presence therapy. Now, you know what? I have got a million questions for this guy here. James Wesley, how are you, James? Are you with me?
I'm here. I'm delighted to be here, too.
Okay. All right, James. Thank you so much for joining the WYLEANER show today. I really greatly appreciate it. Now, tell me, you're calling in from Phoenix, Arizona. Is that correct?
That's correct. It's nice and hot.
Okay, wonderful, wonderful. And what's the weather like in Phoenix?
Well, it's 108 degrees and 7% humidity.
Okay. Okay, that sounds a little detrimental. James, I'm gonna turn from you 1 quick second and ask Gabriella quickly. Gabriella, what's the weather like in Australia? Sunny and cold. I tell you what, that sounds really strange to me. But listen, we're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, the rubber is going to meet the road. We'll be back in a minute.
Now's the time to call State Farm agent Michael Woodford in Las Vegas at 702-463-2400. That's 702-463-2400, and get to a better state with State Farm.
Okay, everybody, listen. I want to James and Gabriella, I want to share some information with y'all first, okay? And I'd like for you to pay very close attention to the information that I'm going to share with you, and then I'm going to ask you to elaborate on it as soon as I'm done, okay? That's when our question and answer process will begin. All right? Are you with me?
I'm here.
Gabriella? Okay. All right. So we're going to start with some information that I gathered here. A Holocaust survivor once said this: 60 years on, people still ask the same questions. Where was G-D during the Holocaust? How can you believe in G-D after the Holocaust? Now, for all of my listeners and viewers who are wondering what I'm talking about, when I say G-D, that's the way that they spell God. Okay, so every time I say G-D, I'm actually referring to God. All right. Okay, so if G-D, just and righteous, how could he allow the Holocaust to happen? Why didn't G-D perform miracles during the Holocaust? The questions themselves can only be asked by a believer, for if the answer is that there is no G-D, G-D forbid, then there are no questions. Without a G-D, the world has no destiny and no purpose. Human beings may decide to act as they wish, for there is no accountability. Super races may be formed and only the fittest will survive. In a G-D-less world, the Holocaust is not a theological question, rather a statement of how low man can stoop. The question becomes rhetorical. Not where was G-D during the Holocaust, but rather where was man during the Holocaust? The very fact that even those who claim they are non-believers instinctively ask, where was G-D? It is in fact the greatest proof that they too, deep in their hearts, believe there is a G-D. Only they are aching for an answer to the question. To be more benevolent, one may say that in fact they want to believe in G-D, but the Holocaust poses a question of such dramatic proportions that they feel they cannot believe. And my next one is, I want you guys to listen now closely. What difference about Christianity and spiritualism? Both are religions. In many ways, both follow the same lines in their teachings. Both accept the Bible, and both believe Jesus was a human being who lived and taught. Christians see Jesus as their Savior. If they confess their sins and believe upon him, they are saved and will enter heaven. Spiritualists see Jesus as the master teacher, or the person who showed us the way we should strive to become in our daily lives. The term way shower is frequently used in this connection. Both accept one God, although the premises is different. Spiritualists accept God as infinite intelligence and androgynous spirit, being of neither sex, but of unlimited knowledge in all matters, while Christians see God as an anthropomorphic or father figure God. The similarity pretty much ends there. Spiritualists believe in communication with the so-called dead, and they work diligently to demonstrate that in the message work you experience each Sunday. Spiritualists believe in personal responsibility rather than a savior figure. Spiritualists accept the conception of many planes or levels of locations after death, and that they will go to the level or plane of understanding you have earned by your actions while on earth. Spiritualists believe and affirm through a declaration of principles that they are responsible for their actions and the results they receive because of those actions. That particular natural law is called the law of cause and effect. Spiritualists do not proselytize or go door to door with handouts about their religion, nor do they have revivals or campaigns to bring people into their belief religion. Now that was for both of you guys. And I'm going to start with Gabriella. Ladies first always, James. Okay, so Gabriella, according to what I read in relation to Holocaust and what the people felt, I would like for you to elaborate on that. Did you hear what I read? do understand it. I do definitely think there's a God. But I also, if you look through history, yes, the Holocaust was horrendous, but even before the Holocaust, it's the programs, hundreds of programs against the Jews and different nations as well. So if you look through history, there's been a lot of other things that did happen. And that's we are on this earth and God is watching us. So it goes a part of us as well. And the happiness is just
History and basically mankind. That's my belief.
okay.
And I do believe in that.
Okay. All right. So you just hang on there and hold that thought for me, Gabriella. I want to give James the opportunity also to elaborate on what I just read in relation to spiritualism. James, are you with me?
I'm here. Yes.
Okay.
It's an interesting thing you read. I never saw myself as a spiritualist. I have a lifelong interest in the development of higher consciousness. A lot of what you read as it describes spiritualism, I would agree with. With regard to the Holocaust, with regard to all of human existence, the mental model I work with believes, I suppose you could say, believes that we are here to evolve spiritually, that we're spiritual beings having a human experience for a distinct personal purpose. And that includes everything that happens here.
Okay. Okay. All right. Well, moving right along. Okay. I've got questions for you guys. And so we're going to really kind of, really try to understand the two of you, because, what I'm feeling is that I have you categorized as Judaism and spiritualism, but it seems like you guys are really not exactly that. So we're going to, I'm going to have you guys to just kind of bear with me, because I want to ask you some questions, and let's see if we can really figure you out, okay? Gabriella, was your family religious, and did you grow up in a religious home? Yes or no? Okay, and James, was your family religious, and did you grow up in a religious home? Yes or no?
No.
Okay. So what does your parents do for a living, Gabriella? Or what did your parents do for a living?
We did several different things in life. My mother kept on reinventing herself. She was basically an entrepreneur and just looked for the best way of making money. She used to call it the streets are paved with balls, we just need to know how to pick it up. So she kept changing her, whatever she did, to pick the ball up.
Oh, okay. Okay. Thanks. James, what did your parents do for a living?
Similar description. My mother owned a business at one time. I worked in healthcare offices as a secretary at another time. My stepfather, who I call my father, who raised me, was a handyman. He had his own business and used to build cabinets for people. Was maintenance manager for school district. A number of different things.
Okay. Okay. All right. So I need to know some preliminary things here from you guys, because we need to find out, how much you have in common where just religion is concerned, period. So Gabriella, do you use the Bible? Yes or no?
Yes, definitely. I was born after it, yes.
Okay. So since you do use the Bible, Gabriella, can you tell me, why do you use the Bible? And what version do you use?
Oh, sorry, I misunderstood your question. No, the answer is no, I don't use the Bible.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you did misunderstand. Okay, so you do not.
I misunderstood the question.
You do not use the Bible. Okay, and why not?
I do refer to the Bible on some of the things, but I know I have read quite a bit of the Bible, but I have never thought of it. It just didn't enter my mind to use it in my life.
Okay, so Gabriella, do you believe there's a God? You said yes. You said you do believe in God, right?
Definitely.
Okay, so why do you believe in God?
Because I know there is one, because it's the good in people, and it's definitely, there's something in creation that had to be for us to be here, and it's magical, and it's the creator, and it is definitely a creator.
Okay.
In all of us.
Okay. All right. So, Gabriella, do you believe in Jesus?
As he was a brilliant man that tried to change a very harsh, very tough Jewish religion, yes.
Okay, so yes, you do believe in Jesus, but what do you say that Jesus means to you? He is what? He was what?
I think he wanted to change a religion that was very, very harsh, because the Jewish religion is a very tough religion. Okay. And I do believe that what he wanted to do was soften it and make it better for us.
Okay, so what do you call him? Do you call him JESUS, or do you call him something else?
No, we just call him JUSS.
So you do call him Jesus?
That's my belief. That is my belief. In Jewish religion, the Messiah has not come. So that's a different thing again.
Okay, so, but you call him Jesus, JESUS?
Yes.
Okay.
Definitely.
Okay, and the reason why I asked you that question is because there are some under the Judaism faith that call him Yeshua or Yahshua,
right.
Something to that effect. So that's not you, right?
No.
Okay.
I don't speak Hebrew, so that doesn't help me very
much. Okay. Okay. Do you believe in prayer, Gabriella?
Different types of prayer, yes. You can definitely, I believe if you ask from the universe, and if you really have an intention, you will get it.
Okay.
I don't have a doubt about that.
So, Gabriella.
That's a form of prayer.
Okay, so Gabriella, believing in prayer, did you, since you're a Holocaust survivor, did you pray when the Nazis came into power?
I wasn't around when the Nazis came into power, but I'm still a Holocaust survivor.
Okay, so you didn't have to pray during the time of the Nazis?
No.
Okay. All right. I'm just trying to find out where you are, Gabriella. Okay.
Ask about the communists. Maybe yes.
Okay, well I just might do that. You give me a minute. Okay, so hang on here. Now I want to talk to James here for a second. So James, I have the same questions for you. Do you believe in the Bible? Yes or no?
Conditional yes.
Okay. All right, James. So you're trying to get something started. I see that right now. All right. So you just want to try me out here, and I'm going to allow you to do exactly that. Now, you said conditionally. So what do you mean by conditionally?
I believe that Jesus was a teacher of higher consciousness, that all great spiritual teachers.
Okay, so hold on, James. Hold on, James. You're losing me now. We're only talking about the Bible. We're not talking about Jesus yet.
Okay.
Just tell me about the Bible. Go ahead.
I believe the Bible is a document that is not pure, that has been manipulated and translated and used for political purposes for thousands of years. It has truth in it, but it is not something that I consider to be current.
Oh, okay. Well, that's a little bit of rubber meet the road type information there. Okay, so then I guess the rest of my question wouldn't be relevant to you when I say what version. Well, you know what? I would still like to know from you, James. what version do you feel of this? Since you said that the Bible has been, manipulated and blase, not so pure, then what version of the Bible, is there a particular version of the Bible that you think would be more accurate, or that you would trust more or believe in more?
Not really. No. I mean, I own a copy of the red letter edition of the Bible. I don't consult the Bible. I use some of the ideas that Jesus taught and what I do, and I translate them a certain way.
Oh, okay. So the Bible is just simply not one of your books.
That's correct.
Okay. All right. And now, James, I guess I still, I still want to know. I still want to know about God then. I mean, do you believe in God? Well, yes or no. Just give me a simple yes or no on that. Do you believe in God, yes or no?
Yes, I believe in God as universal intelligence, not as an entity or a person.
Okay. So then I want you to give me a little bit of what is it? Go ahead. Just talk to me a little bit about your belief in God or not in God. What does God mean to you?
Well, there is growing evidence scientifically that the universe is sentient and alive, is a living entity at every level. As for instance, an astronaut returning from the moon in the 60s, a very hard scientist kind of person, looked out the portal of his spaceship at the Earth and realized that the Earth was a living being. If that's true, then all of the universe is alive and self-aware. And there's other scientific evidence for that. For instance, at the micro level, science has recently discovered that subatomic particles think, they make decisions. They've experimentally proven this. And then if you go deeper, quantum physics has recently experimentally proven that the universe is it's nothing but a great thought. That is all mind. This is what the ancients called this Maya, illusion. And it's referring to, the universe is like a Star Trek holodeck.
A what? I mean, now you know what? You really lost me there. I used to watch Star Trek, but
mental creation, and we are all thoughts. I know it's very abstract and difficult to grasp.
Well, you say I'm a thought. You a thought?
Yes.
Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, we all are.
But I see the thought. I see my thought every day when I look in the mirror, and I see you right now as a well. I mean, how do you consider us to be thoughts? I'm lost on that, really, truly.
Well, there's a principle that people use these days called the law of attraction.
Okay.
That indicates that how you focus attention is what you create in your life. So that you use the power of the mind, whether you use it with awareness or without awareness, you use the power of the mind to create your life.
Okay. Listen, James. Okay, I think you kind of taking me off there somewhere, and I got to find my way back. I gotta find my way back. Listen, callers, I forgot to tell y'all, I just been so thrown off today, but 702-650-5588, 702-650-5588 for local callers, and anybody that wants to call in from anywhere else in the country, you can call in at 1-800-366-8883. That's 1-800-366-8883, and be respectable to my guests, but we have the right to agree to disagree right here on the WYLEANER Show. So, if you feel like what my guests are saying is not accurate, call in and talk to them and let them know how you feel about the entire conversation. Okay. And James, I want to know, do you believe in prayer?
I meditate.
You meditate.
I meditate to quiet my mind and listen for the voice of God.
Okay, so for who?
Voice of God.
The voice of God? Yeah. Well, wait a minute now. Wait just a minute here. I thought, did you tell me that you didn't, what did you tell me you believed about God?
That the God is universal intelligence. That we are all particles of that universal intelligence. We are one with the Creator. Jesus said, I and the Father are one. He wasn't referring to himself as a special case. He was saying that we all are particles of this universal intelligence.
Oh, okay. You know what, James? You really lost me right there. I'm gonna have to come back to you in just a minute. Okay. I'm gonna have to come back to you. But listen, we have a caller on the line, and let's see what the caller has to say. Okay. Hello, caller. How are you? Okay. And will you state your name and where you're calling from, please?
I'm calling from Las Vegas, Nevada, and my name's Yolanda.
Okay, Yolanda, thank you very much for tuning into the WYLEANER show. And you have a question for one of my guests?
No, I'm just going to say something about James.
Okay, go right ahead. Be nice, but go ahead and say what you got to say.
James has a lot of intelligence. He does. I have nephews and I have sons that believe just like James. And they have PhDs, master's, bachelor degrees, and they believe just like him. And they got a lot of knowledge and understanding. And I hear a lot of Christians saying that God will pick anybody. He can pick a homeless or pick anybody to have knowledge and understanding and all this. But you know what? When you're going to be an engineer and have a job of supervising thousands and thousands of people, and I have a son like that, and then he comes home and I ask him, how was your day? And he says, well, it was stressful, Mom, but I did do my job. And I said, how in the world could you do a job like that? And he says, well, by going to school. So a lot of people think that school is not necessary to know things about the Lord. I think that James is 100% correct, even though I think different than him because I got my knowledge out of the Bible and I have dreams and I have a lot of things and I know for sure they're from God. The other day, God woke me up with hallelujah songs and praise the Lord and all that. And I thought I had left the radio on. I'm with you, James.
Thank you.
Okay, James says thank you. So do you have a question for James at all?
No, I just want him to know that I really appreciate the way he talks.
Thank you again.
Thank you.
You're welcome, James.
Okay.
And that's it. Let's see what the next caller has to say about me. There's a lot of churches and people go to different religions. But to be honest with you, I see a lot of good in people that are in different religions and a lot of bad, but a lot of good.
Okay. All right. All right. Well, Yolanda, thank you so much for calling in. I appreciate you. Okay. And thanks for listening and tuning into the WYLEANER show. Okay.
Thank you, ma'am.
All right. You stay tuned now. Don't turn your radio off. Are you listening or watching? You listening?
Yes, ma'am. I'm listening.
Okay. Don't turn off that radio.
No, I won't.
All right. Okay. Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Okay. So James, you got a compliment there. The lady said she really appreciates what you're saying, and she thinks that you have it down pat. I mean, you got me a little thrown off. I'm gonna tell you the truth. I'm not gonna lie to you on my show, okay?
I would like to say one thing, and that is I have deep respect for everybody's personal path to God, and nobody is wrong. Everybody has their own truth.
Okay. Well, I tell you what, that's why we have the WYLEANER show. Because you want to come on the WYLEANER show and tell your truth. Okay, so listen, Gabriella, don't go nowhere now. I haven't forgot about you out there in Australia, okay? So are you still with me, Gabriella?
Yes, I am.
Okay, don't you go nowhere. Don't you go nowhere. Listen, we have another caller on the line. Let's see what the caller wants. Hold on. Hello, caller, how are you? Yes, state your name and where you're calling from.
My Robert, and I'm calling from Las Vegas.
Okay, hello, Robert. How are you? And thanks for. Are you listening or watching?
I am doing both.
Okay, wonderful. Okay, so do you have a question for my two guests or one of my guests? What's going on with you today?
Yes, I believe I have a few questions.
Okay.
If I understood him correctly, he said that we are thought, right? Then what need would there be for sperm to be implanted into a woman? There would be no need for sex. It just brings people into existence. And do both of you follow my question?
Okay, you stay on the line, Robert. Stay on the line. Don't you answer questions like that and run off. Because I want to hear. James, come with it.
Well, we live in a three-dimensional planet. Theoretically, there are planets that have more than 3 dimensions, where what he mentions, what the caller mentions, is maybe a possibility. This is just how it works here. This is how the illusion works at this level.
Okay, Robert. Does that answer your question, Robert? Or,
I don't believe so, because in other words, he's saying that a growth of a thing inside a person is just an illusion.
But this is really hard to grasp. It is, I even have trouble grasping it. It is perennial philosophy. That is, it's spoken about for thousands of years by a great number of so-called wise people. And the way I work is to raise my vibration by quieting my mind and learning to listen. If I have all of my attention focused in the 100% in the one place in time where life is actually happening right here, right now, I enter another dimension of reality. If I can consistently do that, I enter another dimension of reality where these things begin to make sense. I have had glimpses, let's say. For the most part, it's theoretical. And in the sense that it's difficult to prove. Now, what I was quoting earlier was some research done by pioneering physicist Sir James Jeans, who wrote in the scientific journal Nature, in an article called The Mental Universe. He says that mind no longer appears to be an accidental intruder into the realm of matter. We ought rather hail it as the creator and governor of the realm of matter, get over it, and accept the inarguable conclusion: the universe is immaterial, mental, and spiritual.
Robert.
Okay, so if I can continue. So I would just ask him this, and this is for Gabriella as well. Yes, James said that we're all welcome to our own way of thinking things. So, James, if the time when Christians say that Judgment Day comes, if you kneel before Lord Jesus someday, would you try to apologize if you find out that your way of thinking is incorrect?
No, I wouldn't. No. I believe Jesus would, if this is being presumptuous, of course, because I've never met the guy.
Okay.
But I believe that he would be open to whatever I had to say as confirm as my own personal reality.
There's a quote in the Bible that it's people say, Lord, Lord, I did this and I did that for you. And Jesus will say, I never knew you. Then you'll just happen to be in that category. Are you familiar with that?
I'm not familiar with that. No, I'm not a big biblical scholar. I use quotes from the Bible that support my ideas, but I'm not well read in the Bible.
Okay, hang on, you guys. We got to take a quick break. We'll be right back.
Okay, bye.
Did you realize that right now, one of every 3 drivers on the road is cruising around in a state of skepticism? Why? Because they're full of questions about how much value their car insurance company is actually bringing to the party. And the way these drivers are getting answers is by shopping and comparing. If you're one of them, State Farm agent Mike Woodford in Las Vegas can help you get to a better state. Now's the time to call State Farm agent Mike Woodford in Las Vegas at 702-463-2400. That's 702-463-2400 and get to a better state with State Farm.
Okay. Okay, we're back. I got choked on some water, y'all. We're back. Go ahead, Robert.
So, please excuse me, James, but I would just like to ask Gabriella, is there any, I believe she said she doesn't believe in the Bible, and if she's ever read any portion of the Bible, is there one thing in particular that stands out for her that she can say with satisfaction that satisfies her knowledge of the Bible?
Gabriella?
Yes, hello there.
Yes, my caller is talking to you. Robert, you might want to repeat that for Gabriella, please.
Yes.
I can't see Robert or James. So you have to tell me what they say. Sorry about my
Okay. Okay.
Is there any one source in the Bible that she does agree with?
Did you hear that, Gabriella?
You know, I'm sorry, I can't hear any. I can only hear your voice.
Okay. They want to know, well, Robert, I'm sorry, not they. Robert wants to know, the caller wants to know, is there any one thought that you agree with in the Bible? Did I say that correctly, Robert?
Yes.
Definitely. I agree with you shall not kill. I agree with all the 10 Commandments. I also agree with vengeance is mine, says the Lord. I think that to me is very powerful because that is just, you do not, no matter what happens to you, if you fight back, all you get is more of an argument. You do not get any answers, and that's how wars are caused. And I do think that eventually everyone will get what they deserve. I definitely believe in that. No, I know it for a fact. It always works out that way. So they're the main things that I do believe in the Bible.
Okay. I just have one last statement, WYLEANER.
Go ahead.
For James. WYLEANER said you're not familiar with something that he said, but I just thought it very humorous to hear him equate life with, as a Star Trek perception, is that we are in a holodeck and it's like it's a simulator. Is that so? We can't say that a door can open and we go through and we reach reality. But there's like, I'm a Star Trek fan, so I just happen to know what he's talking about. But that's my quote for the day. And what? I wish they both would accept Jesus as their Lord. Have a good day.
I do.
Okay. Robert, did you hear that?
Yes, I heard him.
He said he do accept Jesus.
Yes. We just perceive him in a different light.
Correct.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Well, Robert, thank you very much for tuning in to the WYLEANER Show. I really do appreciate you. You're making the rubber meet the road today. I tell you, I gotta give it to you. I love it. Okay, stay tuned, okay? And this is part 1. Remember, this is part 1. We gotta come back next week for part 2. So shoot me an email and email me your questions for them for next week if you like. Okay?
Yeah. Okay.
All right. Okay. So Boy, I tell you, I just have a ball with my callers too, because my callers tend to have more to say than I do sometimes, and they have more questions than I have, and that's the reason why I like to get the callers involved and have them to help with some of this dialogue, because people like James throw me all off balance. And then I got to deal with my girl Gabriella over here. We down to almost no time left. But Gabriella, we gonna end it with you today, and we're gonna pick back up with you next week. Okay, so Gabriella, I want you to tell me, do you worship at all? And if you do you worship at all? Yes or no, Gabriella?
Really difficult question. There's no yes or no answer.
Okay, well, what is your worship, or how do you worship? What do you worship? Who do you worship?
There's a good in all of us, and that is God. I definitely believe in that.
Okay,
and
go ahead.
that is the main thing, that we are all God's creation.
Okay, so you do worship God, Gabriella, even under, I have really got to find out more from you about how you deal with the supposed Judaism, but not Judaism, because you say you're really not, you said not, right? Is that what you told me?
Well, I'm Jewish, but I'm not practicing Jew, and I was brought up in a very different way, I suppose, with different views in life, and a lot of it about life and the way life is, and the choosers and the way we are as beings on this planet.
Oh. Okay. Well, I tell you what, Gabriella, I'm going to start with you next week. You're going to kick this show off next week, because I need to learn more about what you really are doing over there in Australia, and how are you really worshiping? And, you're going to have to tell us more about that. So we're going to start out with you next week, because James just kind of threw everybody for a loop today. And so, James, once again, both of you, thank you very much for being a part of the WYLEANER show today. And we're going to be back next week, everybody, for part 2. But y'all know who I am. I'm WYLEANER, the Las Vegas queen of gospel. You know what show this is. This is the WYLEANER show. And this is where the rubber meets the road. We'll see you next week.